This is a preliminary CAD for our automated grilled cheese machine. The idea is that a magazine of bread is loaded with a loaf, raced by a stepper motor, and a single slice is ejected using a rack and pinion system. Shredded cheese is dropped onto the bread using a spinning mechanism, then lowering the two flaps will drop the sandwich onto the bottom half of a panini press on a gantry system, which will be sprayed by butter by pressing a spray bottle using a cam-activated mechanism. The upper half of the panini press is not shown, but it will be on a separate lead screw system that will raise and lower the press onto the bottom half, cooking the sandwich.
So after sorting through our parts, we started drawing up a plan for the main sub-assemblies of our design: cheese, bread, heat, and butterland. Since we had individually designed sub-assemblies prior to the hackathon, we took most of the first day to talk about integration in CAD to make sure everything would work well together.
We took apart the panini press and extended the wiring to fit with our design and did some empirical testing on the stiffness of the bread we chose to use for our machine. We started building Breadland in the Formlabs shop by cutting our sheet metal flat pattern designs on the waterjet. We had lots of help from the wonderful Formlabs shop managers using machines and tools to facilitate our manufacturing process. And by the end of the day, we had a functional box that could lift a loaf of bread using a stepper motor and lead screw. We spent a lot of time setting up the wiring for the servo and writing the code.
Did you use the help of any generative AI?
No, I did it all on my own.
After building the rack and pinion mechanism, we had a machine that successfully ejected bread slice by slice, at the cost of the deformation of the bread slice underneath the previous one. We spent the rest of day 2 manufacturing the base assemblies for the rest of the interfaces of the sub-assemblies that would be a freestanding structure holding the cheese dumper mechanism over the bread dropper flaps.
So Servando and I have been working on Cheeseland for most of today, which is right here. So we're gonna have 2 of these, but right now we only have one like half installed. Basically the pre-made sandwich will go on here, so the bread will go from this piece, which is Breadland, will get pushed down to here. We'll dump cheese on it, then another piece of bread will get pushed out. And then these 2 barrels were kind of like fold down, allowing the bread or the sandwich to fall down onto Heatland, which is currently in progress. But what we've done so far today is kind of integrate a lot of this stuff. This was in pieces this morning, and we're doing some testing now.
During day 3, we successfully SLA printed and tested the butter camshaft sprayer, and we began to integrate all of our sub-assemblies into an inline mechanism in a 20-second build montage.
All right, so a hackathon just ended. We just did our final demo. We had a great time. We got like halfway maybe to a grilled cheese machine. We got a Breadland that works. We got a Cheeseland that works. We got a sweet butter sprayer. Heatland was definitely in the works. Probably the hardest thing to do. We just figured we would get it done. And it was pretty tough, but that's where we're at.
My favorite part is Cheeseland, just because it works so well.
I'm realizing now that this would probably be like another 2 full days of work. So we were very ambitious about it. The stuff that we have works relatively well. For us, the only constraint was time. But I think if we had more time, we would definitely make it work.
I think we should look on the bright side. We learned a lot. We had fun. We got advice from a Formlabs employee about how sometimes you don't need to reinvent something. You can just innovate on what's already there. And so something that he suggested was if we were to redo this using an old Prusa, because it does already have the threaded rods and up and down motion, as well as having the gantry system so it can move side to side. That would have been cool to look into. But no matter what, I think we learned a lot. I think we had fun. I think we didn't yell at each other all that. Did we yell at each other?
I don't think we yelled at each other at all.
We didn't yell at each other at all.